Laws are meant to keep society safe and organized, but not all of them make sense, especially when we look back in time. Some historical laws were created to address specific issues or reflect old beliefs, but today they just seem strange or even funny. Whether it was banning certain foods or telling people what they could or couldn't wear, these unusual rules actually existed. Here are 10 weird laws from history that will leave you surprised. 1. No kissing on trains in France. In the early 1900s, France had a law that banned kissing on trains. This strange rule started in 1910 because railway officials thought couples kissing at train stations were causing delays. People would linger too long saying goodbye, making trains late. The law was meant to keep things moving smoothly. If you were caught kissing, you could be fined or even arrested. While the rule wasn't strictly enforced, it stayed on the books for years. Imagine getting in trouble just for a quick peck on the cheek. 2. No wearing armor in England's parliament. In 1313, England passed a law that stopped people from wearing armor inside the Houses of Parliament. Back then, knights and nobles often carried weapons and wore heavy armor, even to meetings. This made some lawmakers nervous, as it could lead to fights or worse. The law was created to keep discussions peaceful and stop anyone from intimidating others with their battle gear. It's still technically a rule today, though nobody shows up in armor anymore. It's a funny reminder of how wild politics used to be. 3. No butter substitutes in Wisconsin. In the late 1800s, Wisconsin, a state famous for its dairy industry, banned margarine. Margarine is a butter substitute made from vegetable oils, and dairy farmers didn't like it because it was cheaper and hurt their butter sales. The law, passed in 1895, said restaurants and even prisons couldn't serve margarine unless someone specifically asked for it. Breaking the rule could mean a fine or jail time. The law lasted until the 1960s, showing how seriously Wisconsin took its butter. 4. No dyeing in the Arctic. In the town of Longyearbyen, Norway, it's illegal to dye. This law sounds crazy, but it has a reason. Longyearbyen is in the Arctic, where the ground is frozen all year, permafrost. Bodies buried there don't decompose because it's too cold, which could spread diseases or attract wild animals like polar bears. In the 1950s, the town made a rule that no one could be buried there. If someone is very sick, they're sent to mainland Norway. If someone dies unexpectedly, the body is shipped out. It's a strange way to keep the town safe. 5. No chewing gum in Singapore. In 1992, Singapore banned chewing gum completely. The government thought gum was messy. People were sticking it on sidewalks, seats, and even train doors, causing problems. The law made it illegal to sell, import, or chew gum, with fines up to $1,000 for breaking it. In 2004, they relaxed the rule a little, allowing gum for medical reasons, like nicotine gum for quitting smoking. But even today, chewing gum is tightly controlled. It's a small rule that shows how serious Singapore is about cleanliness. 6. No women wearing pants in Paris. For over 200 years, women in Paris, France, weren't allowed to wear pants. This law started in 1800 because some people thought women wearing pants was improper or too masculine. Women could only wear pants with special permission, like for riding horses or bikes. Breaking the rule could mean arrest, though it wasn't always enforced. The law stayed in place until 2013, when it was finally removed. Imagine being told you can't wear jeans because of an old rule. 7. No splashing in Venice's canals. In Venice, Italy, jumping or splashing in the city's famous canals has been illegal for a long time. The canals are the main way people get around, like streets in other cities. Splashing or swimming in them can make the water dirty and disrupt boats. In the past, people caught doing this could be fined or banned from the city. The rule is still enforced today with fines up to 500 euros. It's a strange law, but it helps keep Venice's canals clean and usable. 8. No wearing red in England. In the 1500s, England had a law that stopped most people from wearing red clothes. Back then, red dye was very expensive and seen as a sign of wealth or royalty. A law called the Sumptuary Laws said only nobles or people close to the king could wear red. This was meant to keep social classes separate. Ordinary people couldn't dress like the rich. If you broke the law, you could be fined or have your clothes taken away. Today, anyone can wear red, but it's wild to think a color was once off limits. 9. No pigs running free in London. In the 1300s, London passed a law banning pigs from running loose in the streets. Back then, many people kept pigs, and they often wandered around causing chaos. They ate garbage, tripped people, and even attacked carts. The law said pigs had to be kept in pens or tied up, or their owners would be fined. It was a practical rule for the time, but it's funny to imagine pigs causing so much trouble that a law was needed to stop them. 10. No eating mince pies on Christmas in England. In the 1600s, England briefly banned eating mince pies on Christmas Day. This law came from Oliver Cromwell, a leader who wanted to make England more serious and religious. Mince pies, which were filled with meat and spices back then, were seen as too indulgent and linked to Catholic traditions. Breaking the law could mean a fine or worse. The ban didn't last long, as people loved their pies too much. Today, mince pies are a Christmas favorite, and this old law just seems silly. Why did these laws exist? Looking at these laws, you might wonder why people made them. Most of them had a purpose that made sense at the time. For example, the kissing ban in France was about keeping trains on time. The margarine ban in Wisconsin protected farmers' businesses. The no dyeing rule in Norway was about health and safety. Even the pig law in London was about keeping streets clean. These laws show how people in the past dealt with their problems, even if their solutions seem odd now. Some laws, like the ones about wearing red or pants, were about controlling how people acted or looked. In those times, society cared a lot about class, gender, and tradition. Leaders used laws to enforce those ideas, even if they seem unfair today. Other laws, like the gum ban in Singapore, show how much a place values things like cleanliness or order. Conclusion: in reflecting on these 10 peculiar laws from different corners of the world and periods in history, one thing becomes abundantly clear. The nature of law is not static. It evolves alongside culture, values, technology, and the shifting needs of a society. What may seem laughable, unnecessary, or even oppressive by today's standards once served a very real purpose, whether to preserve public order, protect specific industries, uphold religious values, or reinforce the social hierarchies of the time. Many of these laws were driven not only by practical concerns, such as preventing delays at train stations or protecting food safety, but also by deeper currents, fears about disorder, challenges to authority, or discomfort with changing social norms. Take, for instance, the ban on women wearing pants in Paris. While absurd today, it reflected centuries of anxiety about gender roles and who had the right to occupy public space in certain ways. Similarly, laws dictating who could wear specific colors, like red in Tudor England, were not just about fashion. They were mechanisms to maintain clear boundaries between social classes and to visually enforce one's place in the societal hierarchy. Even the seemingly comical rule against dyeing in Longyearbyen speaks to how the natural environment can shape legal systems. In this case, the unyielding Arctic permafrost led to a policy that sounds more like science fiction than civic regulation. But it is a reminder that human law must sometimes bow to nature's limits, especially in extreme places. These laws also expose how power operates, sometimes in ways that feel petty or intrusive. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.